Hello. Welcome to episode 5 of Walk the Dog Cinema. Hope everybody's having good days out there, and I'm out here taking the dog for a walk, and got some nice blue skies. Not too cold, but it's kind of perfect weather, so thought I'd take a dog and get into the next episode. So I hope you've all enjoyed the last film, Hondo. If you did watch it, I moved on. I've picked 1954, looking through the list, and there was a movie on there that I might have seen some 35 years ago. I know I read the book 35 years ago. George Orwell's Animal Farm. It is an animated movie, and not Disney. Interesting fact about the movie, it was partially funded by the CIA, so it's a kind of interesting tidbit there where you don't usually hear about stuff like that, but since the movie kind of deals, especially back then, concepts of communism, 1954, the Red Scare, all that stuff like that, kind of fits the whole mode of what was going on back then. But I kind of wanted to check it out and see if I remembered it, and to be honest, watching it, I didn't remember a lick of it. I don't really remember the book all that much. Kind of remembered one sequence in it about a character named Snowball, and that was pretty much about it. Stepping into it and taking a gander at checking out Animal Farm. Again, I'm going to get into some spoilers, so if you've never seen it before and you don't like that, I'd stop the video right now. But if you are one that doesn't care about spoilers and things like that, then let's continue on and go from there. I'm just waiting for a car to pass in front of me here. They're backing out, and I don't feel like getting run over. Take a wide swath here. So, first things, it's taking a few episodes to come in, but this is, I wouldn't call the movie a waste of time. It's only an hour and 12 minutes. It does feel a little longer than that. I wouldn't say that it's a glacial pace, but I didn't hate the movie. I just didn't fully care for it. I think you'll bring your own personal stuff to this film. The animation's decent, and it's not bad per se. It's just, it works. I don't like the character designs of the humans. They're kind of ugly. I don't know if, it was a choice. It didn't work for me. The animals are interesting in that regard. There are some great characterizations. Boxer the horse. There's a part where Boxer passes away, and it kind of resonates a little bit. I've had other animated movies that resonate way better. I don't think it fully develops anything more than caricature. Again, I don't really remember the book, so I'm not going to even compare in that regard. Everything's kind of more one-dimensional caricatures to get a point across, and I understand the point of it all. It's not subtle in any way, shape, or form. It kind of just slams you with a crowbar or a sledgehammer right at the beginning, and it doesn't let up in that regard. It just blasts you, and coming from that level, it kind of runs out of its ammunition within the first 25 minutes of the movie to me. Like I said, it didn't didn't inherently make it an awful movie. I just, for me, it just it just didn't click. And you know, other people might, based on how they like the book, like again, within the concepts of how accurate it is, or seeing the characters and all of that, you know, maybe other people get different mileage out of it. But for me, it just, I'd never watch it again. It's not something that I inherently want to own. It is on Prime Video, so you can see it for if you have that service. It's also on Freebie, which I don't even think you have to own Prime to do that, to watch it. So you can watch it for free right now in that regard. I think it's on Tubi also, which is also a free service you don't need to pay for. So it is a movie that you can get a hold of without spending any money to watch. I'd be really curious to hear your comments in the, you know, about this movie, and see where you come at it. Like I said, you know, kind of knowing that the CIA funded it, especially back in the 50s, and you get your head wrapped around that, and you kind of shake your head. Yeah, I'm not even look at it politically. I mean, if you just know, you'd be like, oh yeah, you know. Again, I don't know how much was twisted or is equal to the book, but for me, like I said, man, it just comes out, boom, hits you over the top of the head, and kind of just proclaims this is all bad. And I don't, you know, and within the painted picture, yeah, you know, okay, Napoleon, the pig that kind of jumps on the revolution to gain his own power and supplant it, is you know, is evil. It's really right from the get-go. And within that, there isn't a nuance. You know, you got the suckling pig who just kind of follows him along. You got him raising these pups into mean dogs, and you know, it's all just kind of one note. You know, the one scene that I do remember them is when you know, Snowball has kind of great motives in educating the animals, making them better, having a better life, and so his ideals are rather good. And you know, you could look at it somewhat socialistic and everything, and his ideals though are tremendous and good, and everything's going great for the farm. Napoleon wants more power, and so he's going to use those ideals and then turn it into communism, you know. And that's kind of the whole play of the movie. And like I said, it just smashes you over the head, and ties in this kind of weird underlying capitalism thing between the two. And when you kind of just look at everything on a one note level, you know, it's Snowball was good, Napoleon's bad, and you know, yeah, in that sense, it almost comes across like, well, no system works because humans are bad. And so I get that in some sense. I mean, I'm not agreeing, disagreeing, and I'm not even going to go there in that regard. I don't think it's really important. I just think the theme of the movie, discussing it, is there. And I think whatever you take from that will be your enjoyment of the movie, whatever that is. And for me, like I said, it's too rote, it's too one-dimensional, and not enough nuance within that. And rather cynical. The movie is dark. I mean, there's no swearing. The killings all happen offline, but it rings very propagandish, kind of almost like what they're trying to rail against, you're kind of feeling, at least that's what it made me feel like they're having their cake and eating it too. And man, the movie's dark. And like I said, the humans are rather ugly, and you kind of walk away, you know, just kind of looking at it all going, wow, life is just not good for anybody then. And that's just, to me, just yes, we can all have dark moments in life or have bad things happen to us. And yes, some people, you know, can't get out of those pits, or, you know, and sadly, some people have greater lives than others. And, you know, and that's the mystery of it all, right? You know, and I just, for me, cynical movies like that, just, they ring hollow, and it's just cynical. Like I said, I don't remember the book being that cynical. If it is, wouldn't be even a book I would enjoy trying to reread. The movie definitely doesn't make me want to read the book. And I know George Orwell fairly well as an author. You know, he's popular. You had to read him in high school and stuff. In that regard, 1984, I know, had some depressing stuff within that. I don't remember if there's any kind of hope in it or not. But yeah, it just, you know, the end of the movie, they rise up and they take out Napoleon, you know, the dictator pig, and the movie ends. But then you kind of left like, well, it almost feels like, well, they're just gonna repeat the cycle again. And like I said, it doesn't bring into too much hope. You know, just the cynicism of it is just for me off-putting, like I said. So it wasn't a particular movie that I cared about. This one, so that's all I can really go into. There's not much more to say about the movie. The animation, there's some, you know, it is good and adequate. Has a little bit of a Disney-esque drawing feel for the animals, but you can tell it's not Disney, especially back from that time when Walt was working it, when you had Peter Pan and Cinderella and all of that. So your mileage will vary on this one. And today's gonna be a little bit shorter because of that. There's not a whole lot to discuss from that. I think I got my points across. And yeah, not all of them are bangers. I get that. Not all are going to be great, especially when you've never seen them. Obviously, ones that I've seen, you know, like I said, I've watched movies that other people just totally detest and hate, and I like. So, you know, not all of them, you know, it's hit and miss sometimes with film. So, you know, hopefully your mileage varies on this. Again, if you didn't want to watch it either, but, you know, let me know down below in the comments. And it'd be interesting to see what other people think of this, and or how it relates to the book in any way. I'm gonna move on to 1955. I haven't decided what I'm gonna watch on that one yet, and go from there. But next one will be 1955, and we'll see what I pick. Everybody have a good one out there. La da.